Welcome back to Let's Build. Well, today we're going to build not this car, we're going to build a race car, but it's based on this car. So this is Maserati MC20 with the DMC body kit. You can look that body kit up online, and it's how I have mine built. But the Corsita is on sale, so why not buy another one and make a race car on it, I thought. To read more about the car that we are building, and also to see in more detail the photographs I'm using here, please click the link below to the Motor Authority article. But one little thing I should make clear is this is not the MC20 GT2 car. Maserati has simply called this one the Maserati GT2. Main bullet points of the Maserati GT2 are the same 3-litre V6 twin-turbo engine as normal, but they tweak the power depending on the balance of power regulations. The underside has been completely altered with trick suspension, and the bodywork has a lot more vents, splits, spoilers, inlets, outlets, etc., as you can see on the photo. We can't replicate all those, but we'll do our best. Anyway, I mentioned it's on sale, so it's in the 2-door in Legendary, and it's just over $1 million. I think that's a fantastic buy, so let's order one in green, get inside and get it built. On to the build then, and I will for once talk a little bit about performance parts as I go through, because this is a brand new car, nothing's been done to it at all yet. So I generally do take the armour to 100% on almost every car. Brakes I tend not to do unless I'm going to race it. With 300 odd cars you can save quite a bit of money there. And our first customisation is the front bumper. It's really dealing with the splitter. Now you can have this stock one, which is a little bit too retracted, or a number of other ones, all of which are basically the same with detailed differences. I'm going with the secondary splitter so I can have black secondary paint. I don't like the little winglets on the end. They're not perfect and it's not quite the right shape, but it does stick out more and it does reference very neatly the one on the GT2 car. At the back I want some outlets here. In fact, there's various outlets I want on the car, can't have, but those little wings there, they don't really act as outlets, and those little side wings look wrong. So out of all the options I've just gone with the stock diffuser. I pretty much always go stage 4 on the engine, it's good bang for the buck. I'm going with the stock exhaust, and the reason is I do want twin exhausts, not quads, and there's only 2. The other one is chrome, and I don't want the exhaust to stand out too much because they're slightly in the wrong place anyway. The stock grille, this sort of mesh that's inset, is perfect for a race car grille. All the rest are variations on the traditional Maserati grille, but they don't work here. Stock lights look great, and there's so little light I wouldn't waste money on car meet lights here, and the xenons are too blue. Livery, well, I'm going to skip the livery I think. We're going to come back to livery and paint at the end because they work together. You don't need to worry about the mudguards. The number plate is up to you, and I think a white plate is going to suit the build I'm aiming for. On to, I say, the roof then, because we're skipping the respray. I'm not going to select it yet because there's a thing with stripes on the roof, but we want a massive hood scoop at the rear, and the one that says performance scoop, that is not as big as we want, but it's in the right place, so we will go back and pick one of the performance scoops at the end. The skirts, actually stock is pretty much closest. The skirts don't stick out like that on the car any further than the rest of the bodywork. So on to the splitter, but the splitter is actually the canards, and the medium splitter canards are in that sort of Goldilocks zone where they're not too big, they're not too small, and we do get 2 of them, which we need. For the spoiler, there's a lot of spoilers from other cars on here. I think one of those is off the Bugatti, the Gran Turismo one. So most of them don't work, but then towards the bottom we have some ones called GT spoiler, which are just a little bit too big, especially on the end plates, and they don't have a swan neck set of struts, but they are the closest, and I want black. So I could go secondary to have it shiny, but I don't know, I think it looks better just as black in a sort of slightly more matte colour. So that's the spoiler. For sun strips I want Maserati in white on black, and I can have mine matte in white on black, so that's great for the Sunstrip, the black Mind Matte. Suspension, well, the car's about right at the front if you look, just as it sits there. At the back maybe it's a fraction high. You could pretty much leave it stock. I think you'd be very close, or you could just lower it one onto lowered, which I cannot resist doing, and it does seem to look better with the wheels that I'm going to pick later as well. Transmission, again, somewhere I save money on a car like this. Onto the trunk, which is of course at the front. The side vents are part of it on any hood, and they are great. Now in the middle I want some really big extractor vents. I don't quite have them. I have two that would work. The primary venter here gives slats. Well, there's only really one slat in the big outlet vents we have, but it's not bad, and I nearly went for those actually. But on reflection, if you go down to the arrow trunk options, you get extractor vents that are much more the correct shape with a bit of a triangular part to them, even if there is no slat. So in the end, the primary vented arrow trunk really is the one to go for. Next up is the turbo, but in the edit I can see I accidentally skipped the turbo. But you do want turbo tuning because the car has a twin turbocharged 3 litre 6-cylinder engine. So why wouldn't you want to hear the little noises of the turbo and have the whoosh? So go with turbo tuning. For the wheels, I want a 9-spoke wheel that's not quite available, but the 10 spokes of a Mercy Concave look very close, especially in the way the spokes fit onto the wheel. So Mercy Concave from the street category, and I restricted myself to the street category because of the availability of correct tyre designs. Now coming on to the colour, you can see here that I spent some time going up and down on the colour, trying to decide which one looked best as an anthracite grey, and in the end I went with stone silver as being the closest of the colours to anthracite grey. Into tyres then for the design, and I had a choice really between the Chapal yellow and the atomic yellow. I think both worked, but the atomic one to me looks slightly closer to the design on the car that I am looking at. So atomic yellow tyre design. Not forgetting, of course, the bulletproof tyres. Next down is window, but of course no race car has tinted windows, so we want to leave those as none. We can't unfortunately put the Perspex glass in, same as we cannot put the interior in. So now we need to talk about the livery and the paintwork. We'll look at all the available liveries. I'm not intending to match the car that you see in the photos because of course you can have all sorts of race car colours, so you can make your own up. The first few are out of the MC20 road car catalogue and are not really therefore suitable for what we want here. One good one is Mind Matte. You basically paint the car the colour that you want the stripes and the writing, and then the rest becomes white, and that looks pretty good, although you would need to do something with the front bumper there to keep it black. Bank of Liberty is excellent. We're going to go back to that, we're going to use it. This half and half, I don't know, maybe there is a half and half race car. I'm personally not too sure on it though. The camo is just not suitable, so we're down to really Mind Matte or Bank of Liberty. I'm using Bank of Liberty. I like to have that race car number on the side of the car, so we're going to select that one. Then we have to choose a paint. Well, I found a number of options for you that I think work really well, and then one special one that I'm going to keep. Taking them all out of the classic section, starting with Race Yellow. I think that looks really good. Yellow and blue work, a bit like the Spooner livery, of course, used in Japan. That's nice and classic. Also Bright Orange. Makes you think of golf with that combination of colours. They work. Silver works really nice with the blue. You probably pull that from the metallic section though. And of course Ice White certainly has a race car vibe, although that was not my favourite. But we're not going to do, for my build, any of those. We're going to effectively make a new livery by selecting a specific crew colour. And there we go, that crew colour matches the blue on the back perfectly. It uses the Justin R512 website, and down below I have a video all about how to do this to effectively get new liveries. And I think this works really well. We get a nice unique blue. There's not too much writing and stuff on the car, quite similar to the car that we're copying. I think that looks great. So if you do crew colours, do consider putting that one on, but I say if not, plenty of other options. It's a race car, so you know, go a little bit mad with it. Maybe even colour the wheels a different colour if you want to. So we need to go from the primary through to the secondary, which is just a classic black, and the interior, which we can just leave black or graphite, something like that. We can't have the race car interior anyway. I promised you we would put the roof scoop on, and I found at this stage that all of the roof scoops, the 3 options for the performance one, have the blue stripe, which I was trying to avoid. Some of the roofs, like plastic, do avoid it, but I do want the scoop. So again, who's to say that our particular version doesn't have the stripe? So we're going to go in the end with the carbon performance scoop roof, as they call it. That looks really good on the car, and it's the closest we're going to get. And with that on, that completes the build of the car. So let's take it out into the sunshine. Well, if you've enjoyed the build, by the way, please do hit that like button. It would be really very much appreciated. Also, let me know down below what your build on the Corsita is and whether you would consider putting this GT2 build on there at all. I think this looks really good. I really like it, and it's definitely going to go in my race garage. Now, my race garage is the 60 car one. It is completely full. I think I'm going to lose something to put this one in there, because I really do like it and I want to give it pride of place, not just tuck it away in another garage somewhere. Look, I better be off. This has been a really long video, but if you like this sort of content, real cars in GTA, then please don't hesitate to subscribe. That'd be very much appreciated. But above all, thank you so much for watching.